Did you know the top 1% owns nearly $30 trillion, while the bottom half of Americans combined have only 2% of the country's total wealth? Yet some average Joes still manage to break through and achieve millionaire status. So what's their secret? How do regular people with no special advantages manage to outplay a system that seems intentionally designed to keep you struggling? The truth is, no one is born special. They simply understand principles about money that give them an unfair advantage. Principles I'll be revealing here. The opportunity to outplay the system is available to us all. So why do so many fail to capitalize while others thrive? You might assume millionaires and billionaires got so rich because they are levels smarter than the rest of us. It's natural to think those rolling in dough somehow have superior intelligence that enabled their success. But science says otherwise. A study on the plateauing of cognitive ability amongst the top earners shows there's actually a negative correlation between IQ and income at the highest levels. In simple terms, the richer you get at the tippy top, the dumber you tend to be on average. Now, how can this be? Aren't uber successful entrepreneurs like Elon Musk super geniuses? Not quite. You see, once people achieve a certain level of competence in a skill, additional IQ points provide diminishing returns. Yet we have this cognitive bias where high performers underestimate their abilities while lower performers overestimate theirs. I used to get so confused wondering how some who appear like knuckleheads made millions, but it turns out raw intelligence isn't everything. In fact, being just stupid enough to try bold ideas, most smart people wouldn't provide an advantage. We have a dysfunctional relationship with money as a society today. On one hand, it's used to signal status and superiority over others. Yet caring about money also gets portrayed as greedy and shallow. This contradiction messed with my head for years. I'd think only terrible people care about being rich and use it as an excuse not to try. But opting out of the money game altogether only makes life worse. Without providing for your basic needs, you become a burden on others while feeling worthless inside. Yet you don't have to play according to society's superficial status-seeking rules. You can redefine what winning means to you, whether to achieve freedom from financial limitations holding you back or to fund causes you care about. My motivation was gaining the flexibility to spend more time with family. The key realization was this: no matter how you feel about money or the game, you have to play just to survive. Which means the only real decision is how you choose to play. Will you let fear of judgment stop you from unlocking your potential? Or can you get beyond external perceptions and attach meaning to achievement on your own terms? An interesting advantage ordinary folks have over smarter people is that no one expects them to succeed. When you're dubbed dumb or incompetent, you become massively underestimated by default. Suddenly the stakes feel lower. If you try some wild business idea and faceplant, well, that was predictable. Whereas for smart people, our entire identity gets wrapped up in protecting our supposed brilliance. We become so afraid of tarnishing our image by looking stupid that we won't take risks. We stick to conventional career paths thinking that's the smart move. Turns out being the underdog is wildly advantageous when attempting new things. You have nothing to lose and everything to gain. However, we still need enough basic intelligence to accurately weigh risks and rewards. Historically, high intelligence helped humans survive by avoiding potential threats. Our smartest ancestors could simulate future scenarios and steer clear of unnecessary dangers. This risk aversion was critical to propagate genes when predator attacks and natural disasters were commonplace. But in the cushy modern world, we face far fewer do-or-die scenarios on a daily basis. The mortal consequences for guessing wrong are greatly reduced. Perhaps you waste some money or status pursuing a failed venture. But with welfare programs and societal backstops, you'll survive to see another day. The problem now is smart people are evolutionarily wired to overestimate risk and still act hyper-risk averse. Conversely, with less able minds, dumb people incorrectly assume ideas have less potential downside. This dichotomy around risk valuation gives ordinary folks an advantage. While brilliants get lost endlessly analyzing potential pitfalls, simpletons plunge ahead seizing opportunities. And though many of their ideas fail, Some succeed wildly solely due to urgency and execution before competition crowds the space. Moving quickly from idea to execution proves critical. Sustaining motivation when challenges arise can help ordinary people ultimately outpace smarter peers over the long haul. Ironically, possessing high intelligence can ultimately limit your success potential. This frustrating paradox stems from a cognitive bias called the Dunning-Kruger effect. It describes how those with lower ability in a skill area tend to overestimate their competence, while experts underestimate theirs.
Ever notice how the people that seem to be the worst at their jobs always think they're the best at them?
I'm killing it right now.
Early on, while learning something new, we lack awareness about the depth of what we don't know. It's unconscious incompetence. We presume skills should come easily given our natural brilliance. Yet as competence develops, you realize the immensity of complexities and all there is still left to learn. Moreover, many barely graduate community college before eagerly launching simple businesses. Unaware of massive gaps in their knowledge, they figure, hey, I took a few accounting classes and know how to post on social media. Piece of cake. They wrongly underestimate challenges ahead. Yet their ignorant optimism powers progress while smart people endlessly question whether they know enough to proceed. Paralysis by analysis is the curse dooming intelligent folks as they watch basic bros leapfrog them financially. Vast knowledge illuminates all there is still left to learn rather than empowering action. Will we explore how embracing beginnings of ignorance can spark success? By this point, you may feel discouraged realizing how smart people tend to overthink themselves out of taking action. You may even look back on mistakes made, letting analysis paralysis limit past potential, but have hope. Whether you consider yourself a genius or ignoramus, the most critical ingredient to financial success is simply getting started. Sure, starting something new feels scary when doubting what you don't know. But remember, ultra-wealthy entrepreneurs face doubts too. They just refuse to let it stop them. Every journey begins with humble first steps. Seek inspiration, remembering the billion-dollar business born as some sketches in a notebook. While on your journey, optimize environments positioning you for success. Surround yourself with positive influences, reinforcing your aspirations rather than naysayers protectively warning against risk. Monitor mindsets as well. Guard against fear, hijacking rational judgment of potential downsides. Particularly in the digital age, quick progress compounds rapidly, so start investing early. Let the unassuming magic of interest returns lift heavy lifting, expanding your money. Save then, invest consistently, ignoring those who say only special genius or luck grants riches. Disproving doubters as discipline over decades compounds interest into millions. The most practical way ordinary people become millionaires is by spending less than they earn. It sounds simple, but requires tremendous discipline, resisting temptations to keep up with friends or buy status symbols. Successful folks know true wealth comes from what you don't see, though. They live modestly below their means rather than flashing luxury possessions. You'd never guess their net worth based on appearance or home size. They accumulate assets silently, not craving to impress strangers with clothing brands. One helpful tactic is raise laddering. This entails limiting lifestyle inflation as income grows. Say you get a 20% raise. Consider sealing 80% of extra earnings into savings right away before lifestyle creep seeps non-essentials into your budget. As waged income plateaus over careers, multiple income streams prove essential building wealth over time. Start a side gig now before forced to later. Building streams takes effort, but diversification provides stability and flexibility benefits over reliance on one job. Ultimately, ordinary millionaires focus religiously on their savings and investing rates rather than consumption rates. They know pirating prosperity from peers comes not through stealing goods, but rather stealing time by escaping the rat race decades early. We covered how regular people become millionaires using simple money mindsets. Mainly, they take smart risks instead of overthinking. They ignore jealous haters. Average Joes act quickly instead of waiting until feeling 100% ready. And they save and invest most of their cash rather than buying expensive stuff to show off. Staying focused on those basics actions matters more over many years than being a genius. Building real wealth takes commitment through ups and downs without giving up early. Start now before talking yourself out of it again. You know enough already. Just begin and keep learning. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you liked this video. And who knows, you can be a millionaire if you simply got STEM degree. If that sounds interesting, go and watch my recent video to find out if STEM careers are really slowly fading away.